Clinton, meantime, hoping for a strong victory that will also boost other Democrats down ballot who are ready to capitalize on her momentum. Her campaign is feeling so good about this map, they're now targeting red states, some that haven't turned blue in decades. And ABC's Devin Dwyer is here with a look at the Republican states in play. Devin, good morning to you.
Good morning, Paula. Donald Trump's path to the White House, as you said, is shrinking fast. Just take a look at our latest ABC News race ratings here. You see the states in red. We project Donald Trump to win. The states in blue, Hillary Clinton to win. That put her well above the 270 electoral votes she'd need to win the presidency. In fact, Democrats now are so confident they're talking about and spending money in states that until recently had been diehard Republican. Take a look. Arizona, Texas, Georgia, even Utah, a toss-up state in our ratings. The Clinton team has their sights on all of these states. Republicans say all of this is wishful thinking, Paula, but the polls there are close.
Yeah, hard to believe Utah is a toss-up state. Okay, so what does Clinton's edge and the battleground states mean for Republicans attempting to keep control of the Senate?
Well, there is real worry among Republicans about a so-called Trump effect in some of those close Senate races. Democrats need just 4 or 5 seats to take control of the Senate. They are hammering Republicans like Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, Kelly Ayotte of New Hampshire, Richard Burr, North Carolina, for their ties to Trump. But this could also come down to turnout. In states where Clinton now has opened up a bit of a lead, those Republican incumbents really are vulnerable.
Could you expound a little bit more on the turnout, Devin? I know voting's already underway, so who has the edge so far?
Yeah, people are actually voting. The numbers coming in this morning, the latest numbers, 4.9 million Americans at least have already voted. We don't know how they voted, but based on party registration and other data, experts see some positive signs for Clinton in places like Florida, North Carolina, Trump doing pretty well in Ohio and Iowa. Paul and Tom.
Thanks very much for the breakdown, Devin.
And also joining us from Washington is ABC News political contributor Kristen Soltis Anderson. Kristen, on average, Trump is about 6 points behind Clinton nationally. Historically, has any candidate come back to win after being behind so far this close to Election Day?
This kind of comeback is pretty rare when it comes to presidential elections, but Donald Trump did write the book, Art of the Comeback. He often points to that election where Ronald Reagan, about this time, according to Gallup's polling, was down by about 6 points in mid-October. But bear in mind that this is an incredibly polarized election. In ABC's poll that came out this week, you had 9 out of 10 Clinton supporters who say they're with Clinton. You had 9 out of 10 Trump supporters who said, I'm with Trump. People don't seem to think that they're going to change their mind, barring some huge event. So right now, Trump has a very uphill battle ahead of him.
Kristen, good morning to you. We just heard from Devin. So 4 or 5 spots to regain the Senate for the Democrats. Hey, we know that there are several Senate races, but which one should we really be keeping an eye on?
I'm really keeping an eye on North Carolina. That's a state that should be a red state. It was a state that Mitt Romney won. But in North Carolina, not only do you have a Clinton lead, you have a governor's race there where the Republican governor is facing a tough re-election. And so you have Senator Richard Burr, the Republican, who is very slightly ahead in the polls right now. But that's one of those races that if there's a big Clinton wave, a big Democratic wave, he could be one of those that wasn't expected to be a seat that was in play a few months ago, but that could get taken out if the Trump wave is big enough.
Kristen, on that point, for independents or even Republicans that may vote for Hillary Clinton, how does the GOP try to keep them loyal to their Senate and congressional candidates in other races, or is it really just up to the candidate?
It has a lot to do, I think, with this message that says if Hillary Clinton is going to be the president, then don't you need a Republican Congress to balance her out? In ABC's polling, they asked people, if Hillary Clinton is going to be president, would you rather have a Democratic Congress that will pass her agenda or a Republican Congress that will be a sort of a check on her? And by 53 to 40, people preferred that Republican legislature to be a check on her. So I expect you'll start to hear that message from folks in these states where they suspect some folks will vote for Clinton, but they'll want to have her balanced out.
Okay, Kristen, you are a pollster. We also know that Trump's campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway, is a pollster as well. So she's got to be having some closed-door, honest conversations with her boss. What is she telling him right now?
I think she's got to be telling him you need to focus on the states you can actually win. Trump's campaign has really been built for a while on the idea that he was going to dramatically change the map, pick up states that Republicans never had a chance at winning before. But as that path is narrowed, he needs to really spend time having as many rallies as he can, exciting his supporters in states like Ohio, states like Florida, states that he realistically could pull off rather than focusing on some of these other states that are a bit more of a reach.
That's why his schedule is booked from here on out to the election. Kristen Soltis Anderson, thanks for joining us this Saturday morning. And a reminder, ABC News will have you covered with all of the latest developments online and on air from now until Election Day. You can download the ABC News app if you haven't already. You can get live streaming breaking news reports from the campaign trail. And Tom Yamas as well, who's on the campaign trail
Always
every
on those
day but
apps.
today.
Every single day, even sort of today.